What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another one of my movie reviews. This time I'm reviewing the brand new release, highly anticipated release, Killers of the Flower Moon. Now, if you don't know, I live in the state of Oklahoma. That's where this movie takes place. That's where this movie was filmed. So I was very excited to go see it. It's gotten a lot of acclaim, a lot of critical, like, hey, this is going to be the next best picture contender. It's got Leonardo DiCaprio, it's got Robert De Niro, it's got Martin Scorsese directing it. Like, that's all you need. So I was like, I gotta check this out. I didn't really know anything about like the book. I've never read the book that it's based on. A lot of people have. A lot of people really love it, and so that was a lot of the hype as well. But if you haven't heard about this movie, synopsis: When oil is discovered in 1920s Oklahoma under Osage Nation land, the Osage people are murdered one by one until the FBI steps in to unravel the mystery. So this movie, I think it was definitely hyped up as like one of these, all time, maybe not all time, but like, critically acclaimed, like it's gonna be awesome. Martin Scorsese, all the yada yada yada. And I left the theater thinking not that, but just below that. Like I think I think it's very good. I think it's a very good movie. Just off the top, like I enjoyed watching it. I'm glad I watched it. I had a very good time. I learned a lot watching this movie, just about a subject that I had no idea about. Um, Very sad, very like sobering subject matter. I won't say it's like tough to watch at some points, but I mean, you definitely feel the tragedy that's happening in the movie. But I did like it. I enjoyed it. It is 3 hours and 26 minutes long. Like that's a thing. That's really it. I know that turns a lot of people off. Like, I don't want to sit in the movie theater for 3.5 hours. Yeah, yeah. You guys sit on your butts at your house for 3 hours at a time, more hours at a time. I think it's worth it. I'll be honest, movie pacing is a big thing for me. I thought it was paced very, very well. I thought it didn't feel 3.5 hours to me. Like it felt I don't know, like it felt like a normal movie. Like it didn't I feel like I was like, man, I'm still sitting here. None of that. So I think it's definitely worth seeing in theaters. I don't think like anybody that would say like I don't know. I think it's worth seeing. Like the 3 hours is a thing, but if you saw Oppenheimer, that was also 3 hours. If you watched Avengers Endgame, that was also 3 hours. It's just a little bit more. So anyway, that being said, well, hold on. Let me get to my pros first. My pros, I think the acting's incredible. I thought Leo was very good. I thought De Niro was awesome. Um, Playing this character of, he's kind of the big brother type character, and he's the one that's knows what's going on and everything. The audience knows that he knows, but like the people in the movie don't. And so it's just kind of this like, why is no one able to figure this out? And that can be construed as a con for some people, but I don't know. I mean, I think in terms of like his acting and his performance and that character development, I think that was really good. Like I said, Leo's incredible. Lily Gladstone, she's awesome. I think she'll definitely get at least nominated for supporting actress. Although I did hear that she might be up for lead actress, which that's kind of interesting, but whatever. Um, but yeah, I think it's a very well told story. I think it's written very well. The cinematic qualities of it, the cinematography, the lighting, the production value, makeup, whatever, hair, all incredible. It's just all the technical things. The score is really good. Didn't stick out, but was still noticeable. I just it's edited really well. Like I think it's great. I think it's a great movie. I think you're gonna learn a lot if you go watch it. There are some nitpicky things that I didn't exactly love. Brendan Fraser, I he has a very small part in this movie, and I've thought about it a little bit more since I've seen it. I saw it. I saw this movie 3 days ago. This since I'm recording this. Um, he was okay in my opinion. A lot of people really didn't like his performance. Um, again, he's not in it for very long. I think that type of performance was warranted, based on what his character was. It's just hammed up a little bit, which that doesn't work for everyone. And then the other nitpicky thing is, if I'm gonna complain about the length at all, like, which I'm not, but there is a point in this movie where Jesse Plemons' character comes in, and I read in the synopsis the FBI steps in. FBI doesn't come in until like 2.5 hours in the movie, and so like there's this whole mystery element to it. But I already kind of touched on this. Like, the audience knows. The audience knows everything. So it's like, what are they trying to solve? Like, why can't they figure this out? So that's kind of an interesting like thing to think about that I've kind of been stewing on for the past few days. And then the ending, man, the ending is just such a departure from the rest of the movie. It's literally the last, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes, not even that. It's just right at the very end. And it's essentially, you're doing like, if you think about a biopic and like how those usually wrap up, it like usually fades to black, and then it gives you like, text on the screen with maybe some pictures of real life, and like, this person did this person wrapped up like this, blah, 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 blah. So in order to wrap up these characters, and I am spoiling this, so if you haven't seen the movie, maybe pause here and then come back later. But the ending, it cuts to like this true crime type podcast setting live, where these people are reading like the story of what's happening and creating sound effects. And then the very, very end, it tells what happens to Lily Gladstone's character, and it's read by Martin Scorsese, which to an aspect is cool because the guy's a legend. This might be the last movie he ever directs, but it's just out of nowhere. And I'm like, what is that? Like, why is this happening? Like, I'm trying to figure out why, like, where we are, what's happening. And like, I think, and I heard someone say this is not my idea, but if they would have started the movie with this and then come back and bookend it, I would have bookended it. I would have loved it. I would have loved it. Like, it would have been awesome. It's just a pretty big departure that it takes me out, and it's just like, oh, I don't love that. I don't like hate it. Some people really hate it. It's just like, I would have done it differently. That's really the point of that. All in all, I think it's a very good movie. It's on the precipice of being great, but just not quite there. And there's a lot of factors that go into that, which I've laid out. So I think I landed on an 8.5 out of 10. Definitely, like, of the top movies I've seen this year, I think I landed at like 15 out of however many I've watched. So top 15, I mean, it's great. Definitely worth watching. So if you haven't seen it, make plans to go see it. It's awesome. I recommend it fully. And yeah, Killers of the Flower Moon, very cool movie. Not sure I'll ever watch it again, but that's just like, it's not a rewatchable movie in my opinion, which, hey, that might be a thing to you. It's not really that big a deal for me. I don't rewatch a ton of movies. So hey, go see it. Go to the theater, make plans to see it. Killers of the Flower Moon, 8.5 out of 10.